GamingBolt presents 15 best Xbox One X enhanced games that you need to play. With the Xbox One X officially on shelves, we now have access to the most powerful console ever built. A lot of games have been given an extra visual boost, but there are certain games that are much better on the platform, launching them beyond their initial potential. Here are the 15 best Xbox One X games. Halo 5. Halo has always been Microsoft's main focus in the game space. It led the original console to success, and has served as a console seller for every subsequent box. Now, with the Xbox One X officially on shelves, the latest Halo game has also been given a boost. Halo 5 is the best looking game in the series, and one of the best looking games on the platform. Now, its gameplay and graphics are at their peak, showing us what the next generation of Halo could look like. The game struggled to reach a full 1080p resolution on the original Xbox One, but now it can reach native 4K at a blistering 60 frames per second. Gears of War 4. As one of Microsoft's flagship series, it makes perfect sense that Marcus and crew get an upgrade, especially considering how visually impressive their latest outing is. The Xbox One X is fantastic for this kind of fast-paced shooter. It balances the gameplay, allowing it to reach new visual heights, while also ensuring that this new beauty does not derail the gameplay. The Xbox One X version features two different modes. One will render the game at 4K and 30 frames per second, and the other at 1080p and 60 frames per second. This boost in resolution and frame rate is also supported by various enhancements such as better shadow quality, lighting, and ultra-resolution textures. Titanfall 2. One of the best well-rounded shooters in recent memory, Titanfall 2 is a tour de force in more ways than one. Its single-player campaign is brilliantly paced and immaculately designed, while its multiplayer is better than ever. The game is perfectly balanced to allow mere mortals and towering machines to occupy the same battlefield and ensure that one does not have an advantage over the other. The game prioritized frame rate over everything, which resulted in sub-HD resolutions on the Xbox One. But on the Xbox One X, the game largely runs at a native 4K resolution. In fact, it even manages to achieve resolutions higher than 4K, allowing super sampling for 4K TV owners. Middle-earth: Shadow of War. Shadow of War isn't the prettiest of games, but it does have a lot of systems running simultaneously. The Nemesis system is advanced enough that last-gen consoles couldn't handle it, and it's only gotten more complex with age. Now, with more spaces to render, and orcs to befriend and enslave, more power transforms Mordor from a burning hellscape to a place of beauty. The game features two modes on the Xbox One, one that prioritizes visual effects over image quality, and the other is the resolution mode, which targets a native 4K resolution, Call of Duty World War II. The newest game in the Call of Duty series brings it back to its roots, but even without fancy tech and spaceships whipping across the screen, the bloody battlefields of World War II are still haunting to behold, and sometimes too beautiful to run on older hardware, which is where the Xbox One X comes in. In many ways, the game is a generational leap on the Xbox One X. The Xbox One version runs at a dynamic resolution, not even reaching full HD. The One X version, on the other hand, reaches a dynamic 4K resolution with better performance than the base version. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 is one of the most beautiful games of this generation, and it just got better. The added power smooths out the rough edges and helps all the fancy visuals run with no hindrance. This is also a plus because the massive multiplayer modes need quite a bit of juice to stay up and running. The One X version is the best console version available because it renders the game in a dynamic resolution of up to 3840 by 2160. Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. The newest entry in the Wolfenstein franchise is a fantastic story with a ton of bloody, fast gameplay to accompany BJ's sad, euphoric tale. Even without the extra boost, the graphics are already beautiful. The light dances off the Nazis' uniforms, and the guns fire cleanly and with plenty of sparks. The Xbox One X version peaks at a native resolution of 3840 by 2160, with a few minor drops here and there. Hitman. Agent 47's latest escapade is a spectacle, both in terms of gameplay and visuals. The enhancements granted to it by the new machine allows it to look even shinier, and makes all the murdering and sneaking run better than ever, too. If you're gonna play Hitman anyway, and have an Xbox One X nearby, this is the best way to do it. It makes an already phenomenal game into something even better, which is saying quite a lot. The 1X version allows a native 4K option and improved visuals, or 1440p resolution with frame rates up to 60 FPS. ARK Survival Evolved. A game like ARK Survival Evolved not only needs a lot of power to render its shiny graphics, but it also needs to power all of the complex online functionalities that are running under the hood. The Xbox One X helps out with that, giving it the burst of power that it needs to run as well as it does on the PC. Madden NFL 18. With each passing year, sports games get more and more graphically intensive. They're based directly off of real-life events, and need to depict these events in incredible detail. The Madden series is certainly one of the biggest, and its latest release is almost photorealistic. More power means better performance, which also means you won't have to worry about slowdown when you're about to make that last-second touchdown. Forza Motorsport 7. As Microsoft's premier racing title, Forza has always been a visual showcase. It was a sight to see on the Xbox 360, and when the series made the jump to the Xbox One, it was once again a graphical tour de force. Now, the power of the Xbox One has once again proven that Forza is a series that continues to stun in the visual department. The game runs at a native 4K resolution at a blistering 60 frames per second, with enhanced graphical effects compared to the base Xbox One version. Killer Instinct. Fighting games require a crisp 60 FPS and a good screen to clearly delineate each player's boundaries. More power means crisper frames, and a better experience as you beat the snot out of other players. The character models will also get some smoothing around the edges, making it a more enjoyable experience all around. The game runs at a native 4K resolution on the Xbox One X compared to the 900p presentation on the base Xbox One. Ghost Recon Wildlands. Ghost Recon Wildlands features one of the most beautiful open-world games in recent memory, and with the release of Microsoft's powerful new console, it makes it more beautiful. It also helps with the frame rate and helps it go from amazing to stellar. It smooths out the rough edges and makes certain that the player's journey through Bolivia is nothing less than stunning. Diablo 3. Diablo 3 is best on consoles. Surprisingly, the game translates incredibly well to a gamepad, and the addition of a roll action makes things much more dynamic and fluid. The Xbox One X only adds to this fluidity, making the graphics more crisp and the demons more ugly. It is now the definitive way to experience this game, which is saying something for a series that got its start on the PC. The game runs at an almost locked 4K resolution on Microsoft's latest machine. Quantum Break. Quantum Break on the original Xbox One was a visual spectacle, but the Xbox One X version takes things to the next level. The game does not reach native 4K presentation on the Xbox One X, but a 1440p buffer ensures that the game holds up well on a 4K TV. The original game was a technological marvel on the Xbox One, and it's nice to play with even prettier visuals on the Xbox One X.
And that'll be about it for this one. If you guys like what we're doing at GamingBolt, please consider subscribing to our channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.